and things don't go well together. Actually, what happens is that almost none of these processes was welcomed by the Israel Land Authority. We actually came to a stagnation. The reason we came to stagnation is because many of the things that are happening in the kibbutz, the Israel Land Authority refuses to accept. For example, if we want to build new homes in the kibbutz, they say, we will not allow you to build new homes as long as you're leasing or subletting the older homes. Of course, the situation is a bit more complex because what the kibbutzim are subletting are small, old apartments. And what the new members of the kibbutzim want is to build new, bigger apartments. They're not allowed. Actually, when you build a home in Israel, you want to get a mortgage. You cannot get a mortgage because the land authority will refuse, as the owner of the land, to sign the mortgage for you. Because they say, we want you to first get off the kibbutz all the people you're subletting apartments to. Which goes the same for the students. They say, let the students rent apartments in Afula. We don't want them to rent apartments in the kibbutz. If you have a shop or a swimming pool, we don't want to allow outside customer to use these services. These services were given to you with no payment or with low payment because it was something for your internal use. Now, if you're inviting other people, we're not allowing that to happen. The same goes with the parents' nursing home. Many kibbutzim have, because they have many elderly, older population, they've created nursing homes. They want to accept older people from the outside. The land authority would say, no, we won't let this to happen, etc., etc., etc. And it's all confrontation and stagnation, because you can do nothing in a kibbutz without the signature of the land authority, and you won't get this signature because you're considered someone who's violating your term of the lease. Everything stops down. So what's next? First of all, I've put 3 pictures, which may be the future of the kibbutz, either according to some of the kibbutz members or according to the land authority's ideology. What I've put on the top is a suburb. Some say that if a kibbutz is not cooperative enough, the kibbutz should give back all its agricultural lands and stop being allowed to accept new members, and actually the kibbutz should be dissolved and become a neighborhood, a suburb, a place where people come to sleep and not any independent agriculture economical unit. And this is, many people in the Israeli land authorities, this is the future of the kibbutz they see. And actually 2 kibbutzim that were not successful in settling their debts are now becoming this sort of a settlement, a suburb. One on the shores of the Kinneret, Kibbutz Haon, and the other one near Tel Aviv, Kibbutz Mishmar David. In the middle, you'll see the picture of a dream. The dream of many of the people, maybe in the kibbutz, or maybe some of them in the land authority, that would like to see the kibbutz, if it's not a cooperative, let it be a farm or a village in Toscania or in the south of Spain, something very European, very calm, very small, very nostalgic. Well, it's hard for the kibbutzim to transfer themselves to become this, because they're not built this way. Maybe a moshav could become a little village. A kibbutz cannot. A kibbutz have a factory, a kibbutz have many houses, a kibbutz have many, I would say, public buildings. This cannot come true. And the last, of course, is the worst, is being abandoned, being empty. And this no one wants to happen. I think what all should accept is the importance of the kibbutz. The kibbutz members and the state of Israel should realize that kibbutz is very unique, is something very special that should be kept. I think the main part of the kibbutzim is to put limits to themselves. To say, we don't want everything, we just want a few things that will help us change without becoming something too intimidating, too dangerous for the Israeli society or for the neighboring towns that are afraid that will swallow them up or something. For the government, the main thing is to let loose, to let the kibbutzim some freedom to change, and hopefully they will not change too dramatically. they will change in a way that keeps some of the old kibbutz existing, even though in a new form. And the last request is mainly for the State of Israel to work with the kibbutzim in cooperation and dialogue rather than with in confrontation and dictation, which is what's happening nowadays. So hopefully someone will hear this, and maybe we could get into some kind of dialogue that would help us maintain, sustain, but also develop the kibbutz into something new that is still unique and important to the State of Israel and to the world. So thank you very much. And now